Daf Yomi, Tractate Sanhedrin, page 90b, part 2. We just started the new Parak of Chelek, 11th and final chapter of Sanhedrin, and we're at the words. I'm guessing it's in the middle of the page. I'm not looking at the actual format. It's probably lower than that, but the words are Min ha-ketuvim, or Min ha-ksuvim, depending on your pronunciation. Min ha-ketuvim nichtiv, v'chikach kayain hatov holech lidodi lemesharim dovev siftei yeshanim, which is in Song of Songs. B'dilma Baruch Hashem rachashan sif Ote balama ker Yochanan damar Yochanan mishum Rabbi Shimon ben Yehoshua Kol mi shenemar ach b'shishboi balama zeh siftotav dovevot bekever shenemar dovev siftei yeshanim. The proof from writings is that it is written, and your palate is like the best wine that glides down smoothly for my beloved, moving gently the lips of those that sleep. Song of Songs 7:10, indicating that the dead will ultimately rise and speak. The heretics said to him, perhaps merely their lips will move in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yochanan, as Rabbi Yochanan says in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yehoshua. Anyone in whose name a halacha is stated in this world, his lips move in the grave as if repeating the statement cited in his name, as it is stated, moving gently the lips of those that sleep. No proof may be cited from that verse, as it is unrelated to resurrection. This exchange continued until Rabban Gamliel stated to them this verse, that your days be multiplied and the days of your children upon the land that the Lord took an oath to your forefathers to give them, Deuteronomy 11:21. The phrase to give you is not stated, rather it is stated to give them. To the patriarchs themselves, as in the future the patriarchs will come to life and inherit the land. From here, resurrection of the dead is derived from the Torah. ויש אומרים מן המקרא הזה, אמר להם אתם הדבקים באדוני אלוהיכם, חיים כולכם היום. פשיט לחיים כולכם היום, אלא אפילו ביום. שכל העולם כולו מתים, אתם חיים. מה היום כולכם קיימים, אף לעולם הבא כולכם קיימים. And there are those who say that it is from this following verse that he had said to them his ultimate proof. But you, who cleave to the Lord your God, every one of you is alive today. Deuteronomy 4:4. Wasn't it obvious with regard to the children of Israel, whom God was addressing, that every one of you is alive this day? Rather, the meaning of the verse is, even on the day when everyone is dead, you will live. Just as today, every one of you is alive, so too in the world to come, every one of you will be alive. Shalu Romim et Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hanania minayin shekadosh baruch hu mechayeh metim yodea ma she'atid lihiyot amar lehu tarvayu min hamikra hazeh shene'emar v'yomer Adonai leMoshe hinecha shochev im avotecha v'kam ha'am hazeh b'zana. The Romans asked Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hanania, from where is it derived that the Holy One, blessed be He, revives the dead? And from where is it derived that He knows what is destined to be? Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hanania said to them, both of those matters are derived from this verse, as it is stated. And the Lord said to Moses, behold, you shall lie with your fathers, and arise, this people will go astray. Deuteronomy 31:16. This indicates that Moses will die, and then arise from the dead, and that the Holy One, blessed be He, knows what the children of Israel are destined to do. ודילמה וכמה העם הזה וזנה, אמר לו נקוטו מהפלגה בידייך ליודע. מה שעתיד להיות, יתמר נמי, אמר רבי יוחנן, משום רבי שמעון בן יוחאי, מניין שהקדוש ברוך הוא מחיה מתים ויודע מה שעתיד להיות, שנאמר, הנך שוכב עם אבותיך וקם וגומר. The Romans asked, Perhaps the verse should be divided in a different manner, and it should be read, "Behold, you shall lie with your fathers, and this people will rise and go astray after the foreign gods of the land." Yehoshua ben Hananiah said to them, "Take at least a response to half of your question in your hands from that verse, that God knows what is destined to be." The Gemara comments, it was also stated on a similar note by an Amora citing a Tana, as Rabbi Yochanan says, the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, from where is it derived that the Holy One, blessed be He, revives the dead? And from where is it derived that He knows what is destined to be? It is derived from a verse, as it is stated, "Behold, you shall lie with your fathers and arise." Tanya, Amar Rabbi Eliezer ben Rabbi Yossi, B'davar zeh ziavti sifrei kutim shiyu omrim, Ein tchiyat hametim min haTorah, amarti lahen, ziavtem toratchem velo helitem, בידכם כלום, שאתם אומרים אין תחיית המתים מן התורה, הרי הוא אומר, תיכרת הנפש ההיא, עונה בהשם, תיכרת, או עונה בה. No, is it ba or בהשם? הנפש ההיא, עונה בהשם. I think it's בהשם because it says a little. Anyway, תיכרת, בעולם הזה עונה בה. Oh no, it's ba, I think. Ona ba. Ona ba le'emat lav le'olam ba. It is taught in a Braita. Rabbi Eliezer, the son of Rabbi Yossi, says with this following matter, I refuted the books of the Samaritans, as they would say that there is no source for the resurrection of the dead from the Torah. I said to them, you falsified your Torah, and you accomplish nothing. As you say there is no source for the resurrection of the dead from the Torah, and the Torah states, that soul shall be excised, and his iniquity shall be upon him. Numbers 15:31. You interpret the phrase, that soul shall be excised, to mean that a sinner will be punished with death in this world. If so, with regard to the phrase, his iniquity shall be upon him, for when is that destined to be? Is it not for the world to come? Meaning the world will still exist after the resurrection of the dead. Apparently, there is a world to come, and there is an allusion to it in the Torah. Amle Rav Papa Labaye, Velem Nudravaye, Nikareti Nuavo Amarile, Dibra Torah Glosh Adam, Dibra Torah Kilashon Bine Adam. See here, that's a good gematria. Dibra Torah Glosh Adam, 1335. It's good to know. Rav Papa said to Abaye, and let Rabbi Eliezer's son of Rabbi Yossi says the Samaritans, both of these matters can be derived from the phrase shall be excised, tikaret. Tikaret indicates that the sinner is excised from this world, and tikaret indicates that the sinner is excised from the world to come. Abai answered, Rabbi Eliezer, son of Rabbi Yossi, preferred not to cite proof from the compound verb, because the Samaritans would say the Torah spoke in the language of people, and the compound verb is merely a stylistic flourish. Ketana, tikaret be'olam hazeh, tikaret be'olam haba, divrei Rabbi Akiva. Amr lo Rabbi Yishmael v'halo kfar ne'emar, et Hashem hu megadef, v'nichreta v'chi shlosha olamim, yesh ela v'nichreta be'olam hazeh, tikaret be'olam haba. The Gemara notes these derivations of Rabbi Eliezer and Rav Papa are parallel to a dispute between Tanaim with regard to hikaret tikaret as follows. Hikaret indicates that the sinner is excised in this world, and tikaret indicates that the sinner is excised in the world to come. This is the statement of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Ishmael said to him, isn't it already stated in the previous verse that the person that blasphemes the Lord, that soul shall be excised? Nichreta, Numbers 15:30. And are there three words from which a sinner is excised? Rather, the term v'nichreta, it is derived that the sinner is excised in this world from hikaret. It is derived that the sinner is excised in the world to come. And from the compound verb yikaret tikaret, nothing is derived, as the Torah spoke in the language of people. Ben Rabbi Shmuel ben Rabbi Kiva onaba, mayav dimir chazatani yechol efilo asat teshuva tamud lomar onaba. Lo amarti ela bezman shionaba. The Gemara asks, according to Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Kiva, what do they do with, meaning where do they derive from the phrase, his iniquity shall be upon him? The Gemara answers that phrase is necessary for that derivation which is taught in a Braita. One might have thought that the sinner is excised even after he repented, therefore the verse states, his iniquity shall be upon him. God states, I said that the sinner will be excised only when his iniquity remains upon him. Thank God for repentance. Shala Cleopatra Malkata et Rabbi Meir Amra Yeda Ledecha Yeshich Bedichtiv Yetzitu Meid Kesev Haaretz Ela Keshehen Omdin Arumin O Lebevushen Omdin Amar La Kal V'chomer Mechita Ma Chita Shenikbera Aruma Yotzet Bekam Levushin Tzadikim Shenikrim B'Leshin Af Achat Kama V'Kama. The Gemara relates Queen Cleopatra asked Rabbi Meir a question. She said, I know that the dead will live, as it is written, and may they blossom out of the city like grass of the earth. Just as grass grows, so too the dead will come to life. But when they arise, will they arise naked, or will they arise with their garments? Rabbi Meir said to her, it is derived from an a fortiori. It is derived a fortiori, means a kal v'chomer, from wheat. If wheat, which is buried naked, meaning that the kernel is sown without the chaff, emerges with several garments of chaff, all the more so will the righteous, who are buried with their garments, arise with their garments. But I thought people are not buried with their garments. They're buried naked, no? Maybe a tallis, I don't know. Anyway, or maybe it means spiritual garments. Amar le Kesar Laban Gamliel Maritu Dishach Vechaye Ha'afu Afra Yafra Mikachaye. The Roman Emperor said to Rabbi Gamliel, you say that the dead will live. Aren't they dust? And does dust come to life?